That's awesome.
Thunder Mifflin, this is Pam.
Pam, it's Michael. Help me. I need help right
I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon, sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
now. Well, I screwed up the intro there because I didn't do the countdown first. But hey, look, consistency. You know,
You didn't even play The Undertaker.
yeah, I did. I
Oh, you
played it.
did?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see it.
yeah. It's a very quick clip there.
Oh,
But
oh.
yeah. Welcome back, guys. Go to Wrasslin, third week in a row, guys. You know, I'm on a roll here in terms of like doing shows per week here. I'm impressed. I'm
That,
surprising even myself.
That's
that,
awesome.
it's crazy.
You're right, Rome's.
That's awesome.
That's awesome indeed.
Yeah.
God, I love that clip so much.
You need to get some more clips. You only had like 2 clips.
No, I got more. I just don't really use them that much, to be honest.
Oh, we need clips.
Yeah, I probably should get more. I actually probably should get like a new intro for the show. Since
Well,
now,
what I was thinking about, and I was actually considering that going on. Everybody seems to be hitting up that one site. I think it's Sono or Sonu, where you write text out and it AI generates a song. So I was like, maybe we should do that for good old wrestling.
we
That
should.
sounds fun.
Yeah. That would be cool.
So we'll have to brainstorm.
Yeah, definitely. But third episode in a row, and it's a Royal Rumble season, everybody. But we're gonna get to the predictions later because we're gonna we still got a couple other things we got to cover because a couple big things happened the last week and a half or so since we've done a episode of good old wrestling. We got the usual suspects here. I know I'm out of order today, guys, but you know what? We're doing it live, so fuck it. So
You're out of order. I'm out of order. This whole place is out of order.
this whole place is out of order. This is why this company is in the damn shape it's in because of bullshit like this.
You want
There's
the
a story
truth? You
out
can't
there.
handle the truth.
I heard a story that Vince McMahon's trying to get back into the wrestling business.
What?
There's a story out there that Vince McMahon's trying to get into the wrestling business again. Trying to buy TNA or do something. I don't know. There's some stories out there about that.
We can't buy TNA because WWE's like this close to buying it themselves.
I know.
Honestly, but even if Vince McMahon buys he gets back into wrestling, who is willing to work with him? Like,
You know, it'd be crazy if he bought WoW Women Wrestling.
oh my god, that'd be so fucked. Like after everything that happened with him, and he does that, dude. The timeline's fucked if that happens.
He buys it and then the roster immediately quits.
Yeah, they're all gonna quit and they're gonna go somewhere else. Like they're not gonna work with them. Nobody in their right mind should be working with Vince McMahon in 2025. I'll just put it that way.
Well, except lawyers.
Well, that's a different story.
Wait, maybe Austin Theory, because Austin Theory thought his career was going somewhere.
Yeah, actually, you might have something there, Rome's. I think you might have something there. I think Austin Theory probably would shine. He'd be the big star there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A-Town would have a new meaning.
Yeah.
Abuse.
Just a disclaimer, everything that's said here, it does not oh god, I don't even know. I can't even do a disclaimer right. Things that are said on the show are not thoughts that are actually said, that are actually thought of by the panelists here. We're just trying to be funny here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. A-Town Down Under would have a different meaning if Austin Theory were to jump ship there. Dude, he and Velveteen Dream being the top stars in that promotion would go fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody else would be there.
Well, yeah, no, it'd just be them.
Yeah.
Dude, Ryback also joining that company would go super hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm dumb as fuck.
I'm dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. I love that shoot promo so much. It's like you're either dumb as fuck or you suck, or you're dumb as fuck or you suck or you did it on purpose. I'm dumb as fuck. I'm sorry.
Sorry. That was great. Go ahead.
No, I just can't believe Vince McMahon believed in Ryback that hard.
Well, he was one of the guys that too often you get a wrestler that's, has somewhat of a good look, but is terrible in the ring. But they have a great catchphrase that gets with the crowd, and he that's what got him over was "Feed me more, feed me more," and that's the crowd loved it. They could have gave that catchphrase to anybody else, and they probably would have had just as much success.
You know what? And you know what's crazy too is Ryback was crazy over when like the gimmick started. Like,
yeah,
like sure he had like some Goldberg chants here and there, but like for the most part, the guy was red hot. And you know, somebody with a thinking mind would go, "Oh, that guy's probably going to be a future main event guy," and it was positioned as so. But for whatever reason, like Vince somehow was like, no.
Yeah, he's like that too often.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand why Ryback is bitter about certain things in that company, because like if things went down the way it did, I would be bitter. But at the same time, you got to let shit go and stop saying some stupid stuff.
Yep. I hated his finishing move, though. I hated it so much.
It was literally just a Samoan drop, right? Like, it wasn't even...
Yeah. Well, he would pick him up and he starts stomping around the ring, marching across. It was weird.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if that clothesline was his finisher, I actually would have preferred that.
The meat hook?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That would have been better than whatever the fucking shell shock was. Good God. Worst finish in the biz. At least one of the worst finishes in the biz.
Yeah.
You take that finish, your career is over, buddy. I'm sorry. You ain't going over in my promotion. I'll tell you that much.
And then after he left, he started making food review videos where he was just sitting there eating burgers and stuff.
He like there was one where he was like eating chips and he was just hitting like his bald head, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's too funny.
That shit was wild. I'm like, oh my God, this man has fallen hard so bad.
Yeah, I remember the time when the Popeyes came out with their new chicken sandwich, and he'd get like 2 or 3 different ones, and he just eat them all on camera, and it's like,
oh wow.
And then he hit his bald head, and it's like,
yeah,
all right.
He's just sitting there grunting.
Grunt, hit his bald head, like he'd be like doing something. I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, we're giving Ryback way too much time.
Yeah, you're right. It's like we're 9 minutes in, and we're talking about Ryback. This is welcome to Good Old Wrasslin', everybody. This is the show where we talk about Ryback.
He could be a surprise entrant in tomorrow's Royal Rumble.
Oh God,
I doubt it.
If that happens, I might actually walk out of the room. I'm not lying.
No, that guy, his career is over. He had like 20, I don't know, stem cells, back issues, shoulder issues. That guy's done.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the WWE.
Yeah, that's the phrase. Anything can happen. Anybody can show up.
Oh yeah, I want to see Punk throw Hulk Hogan's dusty ass over the ring.
Well, if he did that, then Hulk Hogan would just like explode into dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a nice, like, off the script thing that got him over a little bit too.
He's like, I'm gonna throw Hulk Hogan's dusty hats over the top of everyone's. Yeah, fucking do it, Punk. Let's go. Like,
They should have had a scenario in the Royal Rumble where back when Sin Cara was there and he was using the trampoline to get into the ring, like if he had the entrance where he did that during the Rumble and somebody tossed somebody out in the same spot onto the trampoline and they bounced up, after they were eliminated, they landed on the trampoline. That would have been amusing, but
as much as I hate 2K20, there was one thing, like, speaking of the Sin Cara thing, like, as much as 2K20 sucked, there was a part in my career where it was like the Royal Rumble match, and like the male character's like, oh shit, like I got really mad, so I hope Sin Cara doesn't take anything personal about what happens. Sin Cara tries to do his entrance with the trampoline, and the trampoline breaks.
what?
And yeah, I'm not joking. This is what happens. He tries to jump on the trampoline. It breaks. He hits his head on the apron, and he's out of the match because he got injured because someone fucked with the trampoline. And I was like, as much as that career mode sucked, I thought that part was really fucking funny. Like, it's because it's wild. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Is it better than what's his face slotting under the ring when he was running towards the?
It's not as funny as that, because like that was just a complete freak accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, that was in Saudi Arabia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
okay.
You can't replicate that. Like, how do you trip and then fall right under the ring? Like, that's wild to me. That is really freaking bizarre. Anyway, we're 12 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about one of the topics yet. So I figured, since this one's not going to take very long, Saturday night's main event that happened last Saturday. To kind of start this, I will say, for what it's worth, I thought it was better than the last one. Like,
I agree.
I thought it was at least balanced better, and I think there's a lot of better timing and pacing to it. I thought, to be fair, I thought the Rhea and Nia match was actually pretty good.
It was real good, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was short. It was short, but it was fun.
But I think maybe this is just me, but I think the match worked because it was short.
But there was a great they did. There was this one spot that had a great chain of moves, and it led to like one of her power bombs. Man, it had some really cool spots in that match.
There were some really nice spots. But again, kind of like the last Saturday Night's main event, I don't remember it because it's it just happened.
I forgot that it happened last week because everything was, the results were all predictable, but the matches were pretty fun and very entertaining for Rhea and Nia. I mean, they've wrestled 100 and God knows how many times, and they found a way to really make this one fun and exciting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just got really decent. They got really good chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, props to both.
It seems like all these shows are like merging together in my head to where I can't really remember what was on what, because after watching, Raw and Netflix and how, Big Daddy is now and how they present that with Saturday Night's Main Event, it kind of just merges together. I mean, the only thing I can really remember from Saturday Night's Main Event was Jesse just trying to go off on his own to where, like, that referee counted 3. You can't go and you can't say that he put his foot on the rope. I mean, the referee didn't see it. He counted 3. But yeah, that's the main thing I remember.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. And so speaking of Jesse Ventura, he did the commentary for the IC title match, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's correct.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. You had, I believe, we got Sour in the chat. What's up, Sour? We had Braun Breaker Sheamus for the IC title. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything to like. It was solid, but not crazy, if that makes any sense.
I don't know. You know, when Sheamus came off of them steps and then Braun hit him with a spear midair, that was pretty crazy.
There were a couple cool spots, to be fair. Like the spear spot. There was one where he does the high cross, like he like I think he was like he positions him up, or like he was on. I think he was like on the top rope or something, and Sheamus like catched him and he put him in the high cross and did it. I was like, I always mark out when Sheamus does that move because he doesn't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
So seeing him do it like once in a while makes me pop and go, "Oh my god, he hit the move!" And then there was that false finish, and I'm like, okay, that this could lead to something.
Right.
And then Braun wins, which I thought was fine because it's like, okay, it's Saturday night's main event. Like, give Braun Breaker at least a big win here. Like, now, as far as if they're gonna do the rematch of WrestleMania, at this point, it kind of remains to be seen because, like, especially what we've seen on Raw, it seems like they could be heading into the direction of Penta versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Because, I mean, if I'm WWE, that would be the smart move because Penta's like hot right now. Like he is like red hot.
When we get to the Royal Rumble, I want to say something about Penta and Braun Breaker. I do think that could be the IC match right there for WrestleMania.
Honestly, a part of me, Rome's, believes that should be the case.
Yeah.
Like, get the IC title on him and start prepping Braun Breaker to be getting like a main push. Because put the jetpack on this guy. Like,
yeah, I agree. Start making him more of a main event, or really start having him work with main event guys. If that's what they're going to try to do with him, because he doesn't need a long reign with the IC title. We've already gone through that with Gunther. We don't need another thing like that again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, Braun Breaker's had a pretty solid run with it, so it's not like it's overstaying its welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you give him a plethora of opponents to work with here, and like you have him like drop the belt to Penta, and then having him like start chasing the world title, maybe a Money in the Bank win, like,
or either Penta or Jacob Fatu. That's another one I would throw out there.
Oh yeah.
Jacob would be cool, but I think because Penta is like really selling the merch right now, I feel like WWE would be crazy not to at least have him work Mania or at least put him in like a title match.
Yep.
So I feel like that's where they're going with it. Speaking of Jacob Fatu, I thought the match with Braun was fine, but like the finish I think made him look badass.
100%.
Like this man was doing the stuff in the corner. Like Brauncho was like a bloody pulp, and like he was hitting like the best moonsault ever. Shout out to Christopher Daniels. And like he was hitting the moonsault, and everyone was going one more time, and then they kept doing it. I was like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Like, people will be like, oh well, he didn't really win the match. No, but guess what? He was the one that came out looking really cool at the end. So I mean, did he really lose?
I mean, he stole the whole Saturday night main event with everything he did in that segment or match or whatever you want to call it. Like, I thought he really delivered and really continues to elevate himself since he started going back since last year. I mean, he lost the amount of weight last year. He's in shape. He's serious about being in WWE. He wants to move up. He outshined Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline stuff. So it's like he's, that's a guy you want to continue to watch. And I hope that they start putting him in mid-card level events, but also start slowly building him to a main event status as well. Like, he's one of your core guys for the future.
Yep.
He is going to be a massive. I personally like. Again, kind of like with Penta, you'd be stupid not to try to put Jacob Fatu in like a big time role because, like you said, Rome's he outshone Solo during those segments, and he Jacob's in a better place, and honestly, he looks better, and he has that aura that Solo never really had.
Right. That's why I like the idea of Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu as this rivalry you can start building now with the Intercontinental title. I don't know. I feel like we haven't had those kind of rivalries like that, like we used to have back in the early 2000s with the mid card and how you see two guys really grow into the main event status.
Yeah. And you know what? If they ever did a feud like that, it should be a feud like what Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman did. Just have like the both of them just like kill each other and like destroy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like
yeah.
have Braun Breaker do a promo where he buries like the English language or something.
That'd be funny.
He buries like he buries like math and science in one promo. Like, come on, do the chainmail. Go out there, butcher the English language. This man will be a star. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jey Uso Gunther match, which I thought was pretty good. I think it was. I really liked the finish where Jay went for the spear that Gunther caught him in the power bomb. I was like, oh shit, that was cool. So from a match quality standpoint, I will say I thought was a lot better than the first one. And that really comes down to, I think the ad breaks were better placed and not just like put in like the most inconvenient times. Because when you watch the matches in the first one, like the ad breaks were placed really weird. It's like, okay, we'll watch a little bit of the beginning and then it's like, oh, the match ended. It's like, oh, okay, well, what the hell? You might as well not have showed me the match then.
Yeah.
But I thought at least it was better paced. The matches were a lot better in terms of quality, and I thought the in-ring segment between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes I thought was cool. And then Shawn Michaels just super kicked Kevin Owens because why not?
Right. I mean, that was a fun moment between the three of them, and really trying to promote Royal Rumble next week, which was awesome. I'm when we talk Royal Rumble, I'm very curious where that match is going to start, whether it starts at the beginning or it starts at the end or in the middle. Like, I'm sure we'll talk more about Cody versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and you know, and that's the other thing before we get to the Royal Rumble. Like, for the last couple weeks, there really wasn't a whole lot of build up to this show. Like, other than people going, oh, I declare for the Royal Rumble and the Cody and Kevin stuff, there really hasn't been a whole lot of like build to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that's just me.
No, I feel like they focused heavy on Netflix and on Raw. I feel like that's where all the promotion and all the energy went to. And then after that, whatever they had left was just, they just didn't. It's just like, here it's Saturday Night Live main event, and we're just going to do this. And then here's Royal Rumble right after. Like, all the promotion stuff they had just went into the Netflix stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. It's, again, like, I understand why, but at the same time, why like we're waiting this long for build, I thought was just kind of like, okay, that's a little weird, seeing as how this is one of your big 4 pay-per-views. So it's like, like I probably would have started building some stuff up there, but hey, I don't run the company, so it's not a hickory do.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I said we were only going to do a couple things of news here, but I forgot one that I saw earlier this week, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about it on the show. But I was like, and then I just forgot about it. Then I keep seeing it on Twitter. I'm like, oh shit, you know what? I got to talk about it. Triple H has been announced that he's going to headline the Hall of Fame this year.
Well, he didn't announce it.
Well, he didn't announce it, but like I think it was like Undertaker and Shawn came out. They're like, "Yep, you're going to be headlining the 2025 Hall of Fame, pal." I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Like, what do you guys think about this whole Triple H thing going in the Hall of Fame? Like,
he deserves it, but I mean, it's going to be really weird him going in and doing his speech with Vince not there and him unable to, talk about Vince and how much he was integral to him coming up through the business over the years. Of course, it's understandable, but it's just going to be kind of weird. You can't talk about any of that stuff because, it's such he was such an important figure in his career. And now, it's all for naught.
No, that makes sense.
For me, it's about time. I mean, he's probably, if not one of the greatest heels of all time. Back in the late 90s, the DX era, and the McMahon Humsley era, and so many things he's done for like the last 25, 30 years. I mean, it's about time. To me, he's the greatest heel of all time. I mean, that guy made me hate him. And then when he turned babyface, you were really excited to root for him because that's just how great of a character, the work ethic, and a lot of things that he did. I mean, God, I mean, who knows how many people he walked over to get to where he's at, including Shawn Michaels, I'm sure, at one point during the early part of their career. I mean, I just go back to that 1999, I think it was 99 or 2000, probably late 99, where like he did a segment with or promo with JR, and he introduced himself not just to Triple H, but like he introduced the game and how like he was tired of being buried and talk about the behind the curtain call that happened with Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, and how he got buried and he got took a lot of the dog shit for that. And
yeah,
I just remembered that moment where like he made it clear that there's going to be a new era, new this, and he really lived up to that. I mean, to me, I think he's a big piece in why The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, so many other guys who became these big baby faces. Without him being that heel, I don't know if their success would be that great. I mean, he built Dave Bautista too. When Bautista was slowly becoming that next guy after The Rock and Steve Austin left. I mean, the guy's done such a great job playing the heel and really building up the baby faces. I mean, his stuff with The Rock from 2000 into 2001 were just legendary.
Yeah. Too many people, I mean, gave him unnecessary crap over the years, especially early on. And they said he hogged the spotlight and stuff. He was building people. There had to be somebody as the major heel on the show. And, there wasn't anybody as dependable as Triple H. And, he was married to the boss's daughter, but I mean, he was the best there was at the time. So, I mean, you had to go with him.
And you know what? To maybe make a counter argument to that too is he was already a main event guy before he even got together with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was slowly getting there. I just remember like, what was it? I think it was 90, 99, 98, where like he started reintroducing the D-Generation X, and then once Austin, the McMahon story was finally over, they moved on to Triple H and Steve Austin, and that whole thing before Austin, he had to go to the hospital, get surgery for his neck and all that stuff. But like, I mean, that those years from 99 through 2002 or one, whatever you want to call it, before he had that disastrous Achilles heel when he was a two-man power trip with Austin. I mean, I can just talk about the history about that guy. I mean, shit.
He tore his quad.
Not Achilles heel.
And he wrestled the rest of that match. That was amazing. That was a really good match too. I remember watching that, and I was like, wow, these are the best four guys in the business right now. Well, Angle wasn't there; he wasn't in that match, but those were the best four guys outside of Angle, and I was like, man. And then you heard Triple H got hurt in that match. I was like, oh. But then you heard he wrestled till the end, and after he had done tore the block, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's just one of the best of all time.
Yeah, that, and like he was just loyal to the business. He cared about this business. I mean, there's clips of him and Austin in a house show, and some fan tries to jump in the ring or do something stupid, and there he is protecting Stone Cold Steve Austin, breaking character and to protect the business because here's someone who they don't know who, and he starts beating the shit out of him. I mean, you hear stories about Triple H and how like some guys like Kurt Angle who had bad concussions and how Triple H had to carry the match. I mean, especially if guys were injured in the ring, he took care of them and they took his lead, especially the ones who were still new to the business. This is so much he's done in this business. I mean, from like taking Randy Orton under his wing, from Seth Rollins to who knows how many other guys behind the curtain.
100%.
At the same time, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, when it comes to like Triple H, when you talk about guys who live and breathe this business, I think Triple H is probably up there, if not the prime definition. Like, he never like from what we know, he never did drugs, he never did alcohol. Like his main concern was the business. Like he was always a professional through and through. Like, I kind of agree with what everybody said. Like from 1999 to like 2001, he was one of the best wrestlers out there. Like, he had a great look. great
Yeah.
theme to him. Like he had some really great matches too. Like people love to talk about even today. Like his match with Cactus Jack at Royal Rumble 2000.
Oh, I love that match. Yeah,
His
great. Yep.
his 3 Stages of Hell match with Steve Austin at
No Way Out.
No Way Out. That was like that.
Wait,
might
was
be
that Royal? Was that also Royal Rumble? Because him and Austin, they had I think they had a 3-stage match in the Royal Rumble or something.
No,
they,
that
they did
was,
some. They did 2 things before Austin and Rock collided at WrestleMania 17.
So I do remember this because I've seen the matches beforehand. They did a match at Survivor Series 2000, and then they had their blow off match at No Way Out 2000 before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure because it's been a while since I've seen it. Because I mean, yeah, I mean the other thing I want to mention is how he made Ric Flair relevant again. I mean, people forget the evolution thing that he did with Batista, Randy Orton. I think is still overlooked because of Degeneration X or DX. But like, you know, evolution. Even though Triple H didn't need it, he gave it to Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair. Those were the guys who blew up because of evolution. I mean, especially Ric Flair, who people forgot after how he was treated in WCW.
Yeah, and it almost wasn't Randy. It was God, who was the
I think it was like Mark Jindrak, I think.
I
forgot who it was. I know you guys talking about. I just forgot the guy's name.
Jindrak. Wasn't Jindrak? Was it Jindrak? He was one of those guys.
I think it might have been Jindrak. I think.
Who was the guy with Piper? It was because wasn't that Jindrak?
No, that was Sean O'Hare, I think.
Okay, yeah, it was Jindrak then. Yeah, it was almost Jindrak, but they went with Orton right there at the end, and I think that was the right decision.
Oh, 100%.
And he even like talk about like matches like people still talk about like hell his ladder match with The Rock in '98. Like people like talk about that. Like when Triple H was like coming up there and like he is like part of like so, he's like I understand some people go, oh well, Triple H is kind of overrated, and I'm not necessarily disputing that, but you have to look at what he's done for the business overall. Like the amount of talent he's put over. Like I think he has like one of the worst WrestleMania records of all time. Because he kept losing.
Yeah. Brett's not a big fan of him. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, Bret Hart's not a fan of him. 2 out of 10.
My other favorite moment, even though I was so mad as a kid, is that fatal 4-way match they had at WrestleMania 16, and Triple H won it because Vince screwed The Rock, and I just remember that moment where I was so angry as a kid, and the fans were so angry. They were just—that's how good he was. Like he was so believable as a bad guy. People were throwing so much shit into the ring, and it was just wild, just how much people hated Triple H. He did a phenomenal job just getting so much heat.
Yeah, and he may go down as the guy being part of the two worst storylines in wrestling history between Katie Vick and the implied drugging of Stephanie to get married.
Oh, I remember that when that happened. That was wild.
Yeah, but that Katie Vick storyline, I don't see how that.
Oh, the blackface storyline between him and the Nation of Domination. That was another one too.
Yeah, but his feud
with Booker T as well was not.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, if you think that's bad, you should go back into the vault and look at some of the promos Greg the Hammer Valentine did about Bad News Brown and stuff. They were really racist back in the day.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, see, even though like we do like Triple H here, he's had some really big blights on his career. I mean, the Scott Steiner matches were not very good. Who could forget the tag team match in Saudi Arabia with him and Shawn against Undertaker and Kane? That wasn't very good.
Now,
the WrestleMania 32 match with Roman Reigns, that wasn't very good.
Or his match with Sting.
His match with Sting, that wasn't great.
The Terminator introduction, that was kind of weird.
That was really goofy. I'm just gonna lump the whole Reign of Terror into his whole thing because I mean, literally everything that like happened, like with Katie Vick. You had the stuff with Scott Steiner, Booker T. Then he had a feud with Kevin Nash for some reason, and then like he feuded with Goldberg. Like that, I think all these be lumped into one huge category in terms of.
Don't forget Blade Trinity.
Blade Trinity as well.
Oh yeah, Blade Trinity. Oh Jesus, that was
And
funny.
the chaperone.
And then there was that like Inside Out movie or whatever with Triple H or whatever it was called.
Oh Jesus, he was such a bad actor.
Like, yeah, it was
Inside-
bad. It was really bad there for a while.
Wait, what's Inside Out?
Hang
That's
on.
a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie, but I think Triple H was in a movie called Inside Out. I think that's not
Wait,
a
what-
Disney
Back when-
movie.
He was in prison or something?
Yeah, he was like a prisoner guy.
He was a prisoner guy.
Hold on, wait. I'm looking up his filmography right
I
now.
do. I say this: if there's anything I wish he would change or did something right, would kind of reconcile with China. I mean, especially the stories behind that, and
Man, that was
you know,
that would
that was yeah.
because right there before she died, she had just came out on the Howard Stern show, and she was saying that he abused her. So I
Yeah.
don't think that would have ever happened, especially and that was still, and he was still offering to put her through rehab in the WWE, but she came out and just said some awful stuff about him, and X Pac was like, "That's not true. That's not true. I don't know why she's
Yeah.
saying it."
It was just really weird stuff, and and also to say this to Triple H's credit too, like his stuff, like after like his like in full-time in-ring career was like pretty much done, like he did a lot in terms of like building the younger stars in NXT. Like
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm sorry, let me bring up China again, but she kept using him as the reason why she wasn't in WWE. I mean, the stories that we're hearing now from her family, people who were really close, they were saying she left because of money. It wasn't really the Triple H stuff. She wanted to be paid like what The Rock and Austin and were making, and Vince wasn't going to give her that at that time. I mean, she wanted to, I think it was like $1 million a year or something. They were willing to give her 500,000 because she was the biggest woman superstar, back in 2001 before she just walked away, which I think was the worst thing she ever did.
Yeah. I also heard rumors that Vince kind of blacklisted her in Hollywood somehow, but I don't know how much truth that is to that.
Yeah,
because
I heard that too. I don't know how much he had any say in that. I mean, obviously he had partnerships with WWE, with WWE and other Hollywood stuff, because he does take credit for helping The Rock to move into Hollywood. He does take credit for Austin and other guys like John Cena, because who he knows in the Hollywood business. So it's like here, I don't know how much of an influence he really had, but I mean, China's career didn't really go anywhere after she left WWE. It was just, she just did reality shows, and then eventually she just went into the adult industry.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it really is a shame what happened to China. I just think a lot of it was just really just bad, shitty circumstances happened.
Yeah.
That it caused that downward spiral. Do I completely blame Triple H for it though? No.
I don't. I just think that they had a bad breakup or whatever was going on, and she just couldn't handle it.
Yeah. That's probably what it was.
I mean, they were together, her and Stephanie, for like almost a year, and everybody knew, but supposedly she didn't know, which is weird. But who knows what the story was behind that?
Honestly, I don't think we'll ever know.
Yeah.
And it's probably for the best that we don't.
Agreed.
So I think we can all agree. I think Triple H headline the Hall of Fame. Good. Like, I think we could all agree to that. Like,
yeah. Whoever that Tyra Rising will be a Hall of Famer.
I know. I can't wait. I can't believe John Paul Levesque is going to be a Hall. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Connecticut Blue Blood, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, the man who lost the hog pin match.
Oh, man. The guy who participated in some of the I'm sorry, the shit with Scott Steiner, like the fact that like this man somehow like survived, like guys like him and Taker survived some of the worst shit ever, and still people call him the greatest of all time. Like,
I mean, him
it's
and Taker to me were like the two loyalist guys, not to the business but to their friends as well. I mean, I know
oh
Triple H
yeah,
and Scott Steiner had a good friendship, and I can see why he was willing to go through some of the stupid stuff, or bad matches with him because that was his friend who he was trying to help. I mean, the stories with Shawn Michaels and how his back injury was so bad, and Triple H took care of him, especially getting ready for WrestleMania 15. I mean, 14. Was it 14? Yeah, 14. 15
I
was the
believe
Rock and
so.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's such a loyal guy to, his friends, which is, it's hard to find good friends like that.
Oh, 100%. So, I'm gonna briefly touch on this real quick because,
Wait,
you know,
wait. Who do you want to be inducted this year besides Triple H?
That's a great question. Who would I want to see in the Hall of Fame this year, along with Triple H?
I think we can rule out Batista because he's a headliner.
Yeah, Batista would headline. I'm trying to think who, because like I know they like doing like a tag team now. So who would be the tag team for this year?
I would think the Hardy Boys because they're in TNA and they just like had an interview the other day with Jeff, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah,
So
I think the Hardys would probably go in this year.
Hardy should be good.
that would probably be the case.
I would hope Bam Bam or Sid gets in this year.
What about Umaga?
Umaga, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely Umaga. I mean, yeah, especially with the
Umaga, maybe Psycho Sid.
Yeah,
Psycho, he'd be another
or
one.
Or Bam Bam. Finally,
Bam Bam, yeah, absolutely, Bam Bam.
I don't know who would they. Is Mickey James in yet for the women?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay, I would think Mickey or maybe AJ.
Probably.
It just depends on. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. But Mickey probably.
Maybe. But we shall see.
Unless they want to do Michelle McCool, but I don't see. I don't understand why they would put Michelle McCool in before Mickey and some of these other people.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because
wrestling doesn't make any sense.
Because I think WrestleLamia on Twitter, somebody had made a graphic of who they wanted to go in this year, and they said that's the best list ever, and they had Michelle McCool as this year's inductee for the women. I'm like, no, there's so many other women you can put in for.
Jim Johnson will be another one. I didn't know he was not in the Hall of Fame yet. The guy who did a lot of the music.
Oh yeah,
I would love. He's another one I would like to see.
I would love to see him in there, but they really need to put more emphasis on people like him and people like or the referees. Like there's so many good referees this come to the point. But you can't really do referees without Earl Hebner, and I don't know if they ever want to bring Earl Hebner back in the fold. I think because Vince and him isn't there, that they probably could, but I don't know. Triple H needs to do something.
Very true. Very true. Now, we're going to cover this real quick because we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and boy, oh boy, did they kind of surprise me. I'm not going to lie. I got to put my foot in my mouth because I'm not going to lie. They shocked me here, guys. Not joking here. 2K25. I know. We said we probably weren't going to cover it probably because 2K, we all know how 2K operates. We already know. Yeah. We already know how 2K is going to pull their stuff. It's going to be the same game every year. They're like, it's just, they'll add a couple new things, a couple new match types. That's it. Right? Like we've talked about this. I got to put the foot in my mouth here because I'm covering the features in particular because I mean at this point we already know Roman Reigns is the cover star. I mean we kind of knew it was going to happen. So why am I even talking about it? Well, 2K this year, we're like, okay, 2K24. It was, even though yes, they did add special guest referee, which I appreciate. Good job, 2K. I'll give you a little golf clap. Like, I'll give you a little pat on the shoulder. Like, good job. You did the one thing we asked you to do. Even though we asked you for years, you finally did it. Congratulations. You get a little pat on the back. That's it.
The
You're
one
not
thing.
the one thing. You did
What are you
one
talking
thing right.
Okay, the one thing we asked for. We asked for a lot of things, and they still haven't given it to us. So that was just one thing.
I mean, they did add the casket match and the ambulance match. Good job, guys. I'll give you a little pat on the back. You did something. You did something cool. You did something new. And then you did a couple things right. You did a few things right. But 2K24, let's be real, they just coasted that year. They were like, nah, we're not really gonna try that hard. We'll do the few things. We'll do the few new things, so that way everybody will go, yeah, they did new things. But other than that, it was just kind of like, in hindsight.
Austin, you're making me want to take it back. I just bought it today.
No,
I had a fun time playing 2K24. It was the first one I've played in such a long time. I had a really fun time playing it.
Yeah, I found it for $15 today at Walmart, and I was like,
nice.
But then I went home and I saw it was on PSN for $15 or whatever. So I may just go ahead and get the digital version, but. Yeah, because I mean the servers they're not going to shut it down till like January next year. So at least I can just mess around with the call mode, create a wrestler mode for the next year. But Austin's really making me not want to keep it here.
I mean, it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. It's just like it's kind of like it's fine. It's okay.
It's all right.
But 2K25
much better than the previous games. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, really? 2K19, I think, is the best one. It was even better than 2K22, which they said was the shiznit. I think 19 was still better than that. I'll have to see if this is better than 19, because 19 was the bar. That's the bar. That is the best. And that was the last one that Ukes developed before they went off to do the AEW game.
Honestly, the less said about the AEW game, the better.
It's okay. The gameplay's okay. It's just there wasn't very many modes. I mean, I got the game cheap. I got like for $10, $15. So I'm thinking about just going and buy the season pass to get all the wrestlers and just mess around with them. I mean, the base gameplay is great. I think that the reversals are kind of lousy, the reversal system, but I think it plays pretty cool. There is a problem where it stutters though. It'll like freeze for like a half second when you're playing, and it takes you out of the game there for a second. But I don't know. I don't like it. I wish they would get a sequel. I don't think that Tony Khan says they may get a sequel, and I don't know how because it didn't sell. But yeah, we'll have to see.
We will have to see indeed. Now, as you can see, everybody, I'm sharing my screen. I hope everybody can see it.
Whoa! Whoa! This is like the first time.
I know. Holy crap! It's a big deal, guys. Oh my god.
He's got stuff.
I know. I got stuff, guys. Finally. Oh my god. So I'm just gonna go through like what the features, the new stuff, or the quote unquote new stuff, because some things that are coming in the game are stuff that was in previous games, but they're coming back.
Interesting.
We're gonna get to that. So let's start off with the top here, the island. Ooh, the island, very ominous and very scary.
Not on PS4.
Not on PS4. So if you're a PS4 owner, 2K says go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, they said that to me.
RIP everybody. Also, if you're a PC user, you're pretty much screwed because they didn't clarify if it's going to be on PC or not. So,
well, see, the reason they did that is because you can mod the game, and there would be like naked people run all around the island, so that they can't do that.
That is true. That is very true. I'm going to read this here, and then we'll kind of talk about it a little bit. For the first time in franchise history, step outside the ropes and onto the island for PS5 and Xbox Series X. In this immersive WWE-themed world, complete quests, take on challenges, compete in live events, and upgrade and customize your My Superstar through multiple storyline chapters, and fight to join the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns as the head of the table. So here's my question. Is this going to replace My Faction? Because we haven't heard anything about My Faction if it's going to be in the game.
That's the card game?
No, that's the the mode in it's the mode that they've been doing in the recent 2K games where it's like you buy like packs or whatever. It's like
Of cards.
Yeah, it's like the cards, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was in 22. I played 22. Yeah, okay. It may. I think because I mean, why would you do all those different modes? I mean, it seems kind of pointless. And another thing is, that what was it called? My Rise, my Faction. Yeah, they shut them things down. They shut that mode entirely. It's gone once the servers are shut down for the game. So if you unlock all those cool like toy wrestlers to wrestle with, which are locked in that mode, they're gone. You can't play them anymore. So yeah, hopefully they change that with this island mode because I know a lot of people were pissed about that.
Yeah, My Faction is just a very controversial mode in general. Like nobody liked it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they get rid of it entirely, I'm fine with it, and I'll give them credit. Like this as an idea and concept is really cool.
Yeah.
But I need to see how it's executed because I think I saw the Great Ones video talking about the new features, and even I kind of agree with them. I could smell like they're probably going to insert microtransactions into this.
Oh yeah. This is patterned. It's basically that mode that they have in NBA 2K, the playground or whatever it is. And Anzo plays that all the time, and he says that's terrible. He says that's awful, and people cheat and because they buy the virtual currency, and somehow if you buy the virtual currency from some places, you'll get banned and lose all your stuff. It's a mess, and I just hope it doesn't end up as bad as that.
Because like the ideas are really cool, like having like storyline chapters and challenges. Like it seems like this is going to be a mode where and again, I understand why maybe it's on the new generation of consoles too, because it's like they're more powerful than the PS4 and Xbox One. So it's like I get for like something like this, they want to experiment and try to steer away from the current console generation. But again, it comes down to how they execute it, and if it's bad, then I don't know if I would want to see something like this again. But I'd be down to see how this plays out.
I think it's going to be really, really weird.
It probably will be, but I kind of give 2K credit for a wrestling game that they're kind of going out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Well, I mean, didn't Street Fighter 6 do something like this?
They might have. I don't think I have not played Street Fighter 6, so I wouldn't be able
to, I think you can like create your own player in Street Fighter 6, and then you can run around the city and like fight each other and do like missions and stuff. So I think they got the idea maybe, well, not only from NBA 2K, but from that. So they're trying to play catch up.
True. But, I appreciate for a wrestling game from 2K to like go out of their comfort zone and do something new. Like maybe not something like this is exactly new in gaming, but for a wrestling game, this is new. So I'll give it a chance. That's all I'll say about it. Showcase mode. Everybody loves showcase mode, right?
Now this is cool. Now, look, that's cool just because of that one screenshot there. You see what's new?
Yoko. Oh, Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, they got him in the game now.
Oh, yes. Now, see, okay, I'm gonna bite my tongue here for a second because I'll read this and I'll just talk about Showcase. Just to give kind of a Cliff Notes version. It's Bloodline. It's the Bloodline Dynasty with Roman Reigns, The Rock, Yokozuna, Jacob Fatu, and more. You can relive historic showdowns, flip the script, and change the outcome of select matchups, and experience dream matches between members of the Bloodline and WWE superstars and legends. There's one thing I want to bring up before we talk about this. The slingshot technology where they do the combined live action and like the real footage and the game cutscenes, they're getting rid of that.
That's good news.
Like,
Okay,
it's going to be full on in-game cutscenes.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that because I haven't played since 22.
Some
So
of the
I don't-
cutscenes when they do the cutscenes in the match, some of them could take a few minutes before you get back playing the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because remember, because I don't know if you've played the Rey Mysterio showcase, Shifty, but like in between like the in-game stuff, like they'd have like real life footage spliced in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, okay.
So they're getting rid of that, and like they're just going to this full-on in-game cutscenes, which I appreciate because I'll be honest with you, the last showcase they did sucked, and a lot of it was because of the the real life footage, because there'd be points in a match where like they'd be selling and like it'd take like a long time for them to get up, and then it's like, oh god, I don't want like. And so I appreciate that. And from what I'm seeing, I think this showcase mode could be interesting because
the older showcase modes, they would recreate the whole thing with the in-game graphics, and I always thought that was really cool because they get down to the minor details of recreating the moves and the look of the match, and I thought that was always nice. I do remember the Rey Mysterio showcase where they were going back and forth between. It seemed like they cheaped out on it, and they didn't want to capture the whole thing in game footage. But that was disappointing. But now that they're moving back, hopefully it's just as good as the old ones. 2K14 was awesome when they did that stuff. Great game.
Oh, it's so good. And having and kind of going back to this real quick, like having you could flip the script and change the outcome of select matchups. I don't know what that means, but if they have the options for certain matches to do that, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing they're offering.
Yeah, and and experiencing dream matches, maybe there's something there you could wrestle somebody with a bloodline member and a superstar, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I kept thinking, I'm what if it's Austin never beat The Rock at WrestleMania 17 or something, The Rock wins, or maybe that'll be a change the outcome, because Vince McMahon comes in and screws The Rock. What if The Rock doesn't get screwed and overcomes? I doubt Vince will be in the damn game, but they could do something like WrestleMania 15 or something like that, or WrestleMania 19 where Austin beats The Rock or whatever. They'll figure something out.
Yeah. So already getting rid of the real life footage and kind of having this, I think this showcase mode has potential.
Oh, one more thing about 2K24. Speaking of Vince McMahon, they actually block him out in a lot of the clips too.
Yeah.
Because he was in that game. They actually had him blurred out. So you see a lot of black spots in the middle of some of the scenes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because
So
he was pulled out, so was Brock Lesnar. You can play Brock Lesnar in the showcase, but you can't unlock him because they won't let you.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the other thing I didn't like about it.
So he's not in the game on the roster?
He's not on the roster, but you can play him as a showcase character, and there's fans who've created him in the creators box.
Oh, that's good.
So I again, kind of like the islands, potential. Just again, how they execute it, how many matches are going to be in the showcase. That's what's going to be okay. Will this work? We'll see. Gameplay. So other than the new match types, one big thing: intergender wrestling.
It's about
time.
That's going to be interesting because it hasn't been in a game for like a long time. So
long time.
Extremely long time. Probably going back since SmackDown, 2? That I can remember. I don't know if it was in previous incarnations, but
maybe I think it was one of the SVR games. I think that it might have been the last one.
I can't remember. It was. I think it was. Yeah, it might have been one of the ones on one of the first ones on the PS2.
yeah.
It is way back.
And the fact that you could do it in like different like multiple matches, like multiple modes, like you see, they're kind of setting themselves up for like this might kind of be like, I don't know, like this sounds like kind of like this could be a recipe for disaster, but I'm kind of all here for it though.
Me too.
Oh wait, no. It had to been it had to been towards the end of the PlayStation. It had been like the 360 generation because I remember whatever one that was where you had your crib that I think 2008 where you could like decorate your crib. They had that little computer and they had missions on the computer, and one of the missions was Mickey James versus who was that giant dude? The Great Khali. Yeah, you had to wrestle Mickey James versus the Great Khali. I think that was the last time you could do that.
So it could be a recipe for disaster because I mean there will be somebody who's going to throw a women wrestler off the Hell in a Cell with a male wrestler. We all know it's going to happen.
100%.
It's going to be even worse than that because they do a terrible job of keeping track of what's uploaded to community creations. Somebody's going to put a nude skin in the game, and we're going to have some straight up going on with some holds, and it ain't going to look right. Some abdominal stretches are going to be turned into some X-rated scenes. So they better keep watch on that.
So, but we also got Bloodline rules where there's going to be up to 6 interferences in the match.
What?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
From what I heard, I think it's going to be like 3 interferences for each, so that'll be like 6.
Oh, God. Okay. It's WrestleMania from last year. It's the main event.
Much. So, I mean, again, it's goofy, but I appreciate it. They had the underground match, which is kind of like okay, that's cool. But chain wrestling's back though, guys. Remember chain wrestling?
They should never took it out.
Yeah. See, I think the problem is with chain wrestling is I think it's a good idea, but the original establishment didn't really know how to do it without it feeling like a chore.
But it was optional, though. It was optional. You just didn't have to hold it was the shoulder button to initiate it. You didn't have to do it. I mean, it was.
No, you are correct. But, however, 2K15, however, that was a different story.
Oh, that was 10 years ago.
Sure. But I think I honestly, because Visual Concepts did impress me with like that one mini game and during a match where you'll like have to hold down the square button to like, because like you know how during the match they punch each other and the crowd goes ooh yeah, and like they do it like slow punching and then it's like they have like a mini game for it and it's done fairly well. So I hope that the chain wrestling this time around is interesting. And barricade diving. We're finally getting barricade diving, which is, again...
it took them all this long to get barricade diving when tons of other games has had that. M. Dickey had that in like his wrestling game that he made by himself like 20-some years ago. And I don't know if you have played a Wrestling Empire. You can just crawl up on anything and jump off of like anything in the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, WWE is so slow. I mean, all they got to do is look at M. Dickey's games. It's just a one man, and most of his stuff, Wrestling Empire, he created that by himself in a van during the pandemic in the parking lot of a hospital in England, and all these guys over at 2K is playing catch up to him.
Yeah, that is very true. But I think Fight Forever did that too. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder if 2K just saw Fight Forever and just went, you know what? We're gonna do it our way, but we're gonna try and do it better.
Well,
Because
it
I
remains.
think apparently I heard there's gonna be destructible LED like stages, I think, in the game as well. So it's like, again, why are we waiting till now for this to happen? But better late than never, I guess. So it's the
I tell
2K
you,
norm. So I mean,
I tell you one thing that I wish they would put in here, and I don't know if it's already in there because I didn't play 23 or 24. They need to make or give us like new camera angles, like optional camera angles to select through because I'm tired. What?
So I'm actually gonna bring that up. Apparently, this is gonna be the first game where it's a free roam camera where
Oh,
you could use the R3 stick, I think, and you can like move it around and like it'll change like camera angles during a match.
oh, that's about time.
That's cool.
So again, 2K, I'll give you a little golf clap because good job, guys. You did
Yeah, they're
something right here.
They're so behind on everything.
Like it took them like what? It took them like 5 games. Like no, because like this is like I think because it was 22, 23. This is the 4th game under Visual Concepts. Or no, technically this is 5 because they did 2K20, I think. But this is the 5th game. It like because this is like the 5th game post Ukes, and it took like even then, but it took them this long to like get all this stuff in the game is like really telling.
I can't remember them ever having like a selectable camera angles in the SmackDown series ever because this is the SmackDown series. It started way back on PlayStation.
Yeah,
And they've I don't think they've ever had an alternate camera like mode. I just it's 20 some years or like 25 games or whatever, and they haven't had that in there. It's just crazy.
it's very crazy to me.
I agree.
My GM mode. Remember that mode, guys?
Oh my god, I hated my GM mode.
Everybody wanted that back.
How do they fuck up this mode so bad? Like
I don't know.
it's such as easy like slam dunk, but they screwed it up. And here's the thing that I'll give my GM mode for this year: the fact that it's going to be an online multiplayer for up to 4 players for my GM mode. I think that's a win. I'll give them that. Again, took you like 4 games with my GM mode to this point to get here. But again, better late than never. And having the cross-brand pay-per-views, cool. Problem is, we're still in the multiple week seasons when you should do what the old games did is have a full calendar year and have it be draft your wrestlers, you have your free agency, you put your matches, storylines. Like, it's such an easy thing to do. I don't understand why you overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, you already have universe mode. Take the stuff that kind of works in universe mode, put my GM elements into it. You have a decent mode there. I don't understand. Like, again, this is what annoys me about 2K is like sometimes they just don't think and overcomplicate things when they don't have to. Like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of the same thing with the My Rise. Like, again, you could do like if it's gonna be the custom superstar anyway, why don't you just combine the modes together?
Right. It's just
you're doing more when you realistically you could be doing way less.
Or combine them, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. So the My GM mode, really the only thing that's improved right here is the multiplayer, which is something that I think everybody like me wanted to begin with. Granted, again, better late than never, but they really need to fix this mode. At this point, I don't think they will, but I would like them to, preferably. But speaking of modes that'll never be fixed, universe mode. Nobody cares about universe mode. I don't care about
the worst thing back. They bring the worst thing back.
So yeah. So from what I could tell, universe mode, only one thing they're changing. Everything else, the universe mode is going to stay the fucking same because we all know it will because it's universe mode. It's been in how many games, and it has not been touched. And then they're like, "Oh, we did this, we did that." No, you didn't. Don't lie to yourselves.
The long-awaited return of promos. Who wanted promos back? They were terrible. I mean, what?
It just
So-
slows the whole thing down.
Here's the thing with the promo system. I don't hate the concept because it does give like the universe mode, like, oh, like you're actually playing like a show. The problem is the old system sucked. It didn't work. The writing was really bad. It was very slow. It didn't like, from what I could tell, the system's gonna be way different. It's gonna be way less like it's not gonna be as excessive. It's just gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be like two things what you see on the screen here, and that's that. Like, I would say keep it again, it goes back to keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to overcomplicate it, just do a quick little basic thing, like you do like, oh, you have this, that, the other, and and branching choices. That seems interesting and cool, but the problem is it's universe mode. And does anybody care about universe mode? No. So why are we talking about it? You know, it's I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to talk about with universe mode? Because it's just a dead mode. Does anybody really care?
I don't think I've ever played universe mode. I bought like 2K16 through 2K19, 22. I had all those games. They had the universe mode in them. I spent a huge amount of time setting up my universe, but then I never got around to playing it. And I was like, I didn't. From what I saw, that it was just completely lame.
There's a lot of stuff they could do better with it. I mean, this is supposed to be like their franchise mode, like when you look at like Madden and some of the other sports games, but they just don't do enough to make it more of like a franchise, or more of like, like here's the stars today, here's the stars tomorrow, like just that whole thing, and really try to make it a little more like an actual franchise than just calling it universe mode. It's just,
and
there's so much you can do with it if they were smart enough to really change some of the stuff that they change a lot of stuff that they haven't decided to change with, or they just don't know what to do with it.
And one of my problems for what I saw of other people playing it is, like, you'd have somebody like Austin Theory would come out of nowhere and just be some top dog and just start beating everybody if you're like simulating. And it's just, I don't know. It just seems like it wasn't. If they had more where you could put more restrictions on what could happen into the game to prevent stuff like that, I think that would have been something that would have worked out a lot better.
Like for me, I kind of wish they had more. You can kind of do more rivalries with someone, because they give you just 4 rivalries or 4 or 5 rivalries.
Yeah,
I think it's 4. They should give you at least 6 or 7, since there's like 8 matches. They should at least give you more like rivalries. Be a little more creative with the story modes of who you want in this rivalry, what's this going to be about, just something. Just give you some more ideas, but they don't really put enough effort into universe mode.
Austin, you said keep it simple, stupid. Well, I mean, SmackDown 2 had a season mode, and that was as simple as you can get, and it was fun as hell.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, like it's like we're not asking for much here, 2K. Just fix your fucking modes that need to be fixed. Like,
or go back to something like No Mercy and just give us like a kind of a well laid out story that has branching paths.
Yeah,
because it was fun and it had tons of replayability.
I just go back to what Austin said with the general manager mode and universal mode, your universe. Blend the two together, kind of like a franchise. It's like you can pick Raw as your universe mode, and you can just play general manager and all that other stuff, and just you can do something more with it. But
or have universe mode kind of merge with the old Road to WrestleMania stories, where they're telling a story while you're going through all this, trying to set everything up.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just anything to really change it up and not make it feel like we're just updating the roster so you can play around within this universe that you don't really do much with.
So the last thing we're gonna talk about with 2K25, because like after this they just go into like, oh, like there's gonna be a lot of superstars in the game, and then there's gonna be like, oh, there's arenas, and so that's like, okay, nothing really to talk about there. The My Rise. So this time around, they're going back to the 2K20 thing, where it's not going to be where instead of doing the separate women and males My Rise, it's going to be kind of in one thing where you can take control of your custom star from the women or men's divisions in a singular multi-gender My Rise story where Bayley, Kevin Owens, and other superstars infiltrate NXT in an attempt to take control of the entire WWE universe, featuring new brawl environments, unlockable arenas, characters, and more. And plus new ally storylines involving Jey Uso, Bianca Belair, Seth freaking Rollins, and other WWE superstars. Now, question, is one of the stories going to be you can either team up with CM Punk or CM Punk will beat you up backstage? I want to know if they will actually do this.
That would be
I-
awesome.
I don't know.
And chokes you a little bit.
And will Drew McIntyre save me if CM Punk makes me fear for my life backstage? We don't know. But so already right here, I'm curious because I'll be honest, the last couple years with the My Rise, it hasn't been the strongest. I don't mind like the single linear stories, but the problem is there's not a lot of branching stuff there to make it different.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you have something here to where you could easily do branching stuff where the experience is different every time. But I don't think they're going to do that. And that's why I'm like it's a cool idea, like an NXT Invasion storyline, like that would be cool. But the
That'd be
question
fun.
is, how in depth is this going to be? That's the question. Which, based off history's sake, it's not going to be very in depth. But I'm curious on how they're going to do this. And also, having arenas characters unlockable through a mode. Wow, guys, it's almost like a game. Not like, my faction, where you just have to unlock stuff through money. So, I mean, again, congratulations, 2K, for finally figuring that out. It took you about 3-4 games, up to this point.
You can unlock that stuff anyway with the season pass, can't you?
No.
They got that little. No, it's got that unlock code or whatever, or is it just
No,
for the wrestlers?
Well, no, like you have your DLC wrestlers, and then you have wrestlers that you have to pay for money through the My Faction to get.
Oh, I'm talking about My Rise.
Oh, My Rise. I think there may be like one or two here and there, but not like a lot.
Oh, okay.
So again, 2K, congratulations! You're finally getting the concept here. Just again, how you do it. So I guess what I'm saying, because like it is over the hour mark, we haven't even talked about the Royal Rumble yet. On paper, I'm gonna give 2K this. Are there a lot of things in this game that should have been in the games previously? Yes. That being said, I'll give them credit. This, on paper, is probably the most innovative in the sense of like, wow, there's actually stuff in here that they've sort of are starting to understand. Hey, don't do that, do this. Like, I'll give them that. There are things in here that they brought back in that was like, okay, cool. The problem is, and this is the only real drawback I have, is that I have a feeling 2K is going to 2K it somehow, and they're going to like lose the plot here. And it's like, I hope that's not the case, because a lot of the ideas they've introduced here are really cool. However, I have to see gameplay. I have to see what these modes are going to entail, because otherwise I don't care. Or I don't care enough to like be like, oh my god, I can't wait for the game. Like, I have to see what people think of the game first. I gotta see gameplay. Like, I gotta see what the modes will have and what they consist of. Get more in depth with it, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm hyped. So, I think that's just what it boils down to. Is I just gotta see more.
Are they still charging $130 for the?
Yeah, it's like $130 for like the ultra mega
super
edition.
Yeah.
It's like the Bloodline edition or something.
That's
Well,
nuts.
I'll give them this. If you pay that money, you get 7 days free access. So I mean, or early access.
Ooh, 7 days.
I mean, to be fair, that's better than the 3 or 4 day early access.
Yeah, but there's a $40 difference or $30 difference.
Yeah, but to be fair, you also get the season pass as well, and you get a lot of other stuff. So, I mean, I guess it's worth the money, kinda, but not really. So it's like, I don't know. If you want to spend the money, spend the money. If you don't, then you don't have to. I always deem it like I'm not gonna tell people, oh, you better spend your money on this or spend your money on that. Like,
Yeah.
spend your money however you want to, as long as you're responsible. That is my official decree.
Or just be like me, wait a year after it comes out and get it for $15.
See, and that's also smart too. All right. We're about an hour and 20 minutes into this thing. Fuck it. We might as well just do it. Royal Rumble predictions. That's what we're all here for, right? Like, we're here for the Royal Rumble. It's Royal Rumble
Absolutely.
season. It's best, biggest event of the year. Some people consider it the best, one of the most anticipated events of the year. The road to WrestleMania kicks off here, folks. It's not gonna get any bigger than this. Or well, it will, but in terms of hype. It's a very late Royal Rumble too, because this is the first one that they've done in February.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It's very
But
weird.
it's only like by one day though.
Yeah, but still, it's still kind of weird saying like, oh, the Royal Rumble's in February. You know, it's like,
I mean, they've done a lot for the month of January. I've never seen this much content from WWE. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
the promotion of Raw on Netflix. Then we got, you know, Saturday night main event, which I forgot that was coming. And then I'm like, the following week's Royal Rumble. We're like, I mean, I'm not complaining. I love that we're getting a lot of great content from WWE in wrestling, but like, you know, it's interesting to see how they haven't taken a break yet, building to the Elimination Chamber next.
yeah, because that I think the Elimination Chamber is not till like March. I think.
That's correct.
Oh man, there's a long gap. Well, actually, no, the gap's not gonna be too bad.
No, it's only like I think 4 or 5 weeks after Royal Rumble, but like it gives you enough break or breather to really start building up to the Elimination Chamber and to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Let's just hope whoever wins the Royal Rumble, they point to the right person after they win.
Cody.
I'm sure The Rock is not over it. I still think he's lurking around somewhere, and you know, like I'm not gonna go and wrestle and give Cody his win. I got my win, and you know, fans screw me over having my match, and you know, it's The Rock being The Rock.
At that point, Rock, just wrestle Roman at this point. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even need to wrestle Cody at this. Just fight Roman, get the match over with, and you can go back to Hollywood and do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Well,
Like-
not everything he wants to do. I mean, he's not going to make Black Adam 2.
That's true. He's not gonna be able to do Black Adam 2. He's probably not gonna do a sequel to Red 1 or Black Adam. So I mean,
No, actually, I think they are making a sequel to Red One. From I heard
That's too
something.
funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it
That's
did
like-
well on Prime Video. I know that.
that is really funny. Oh man. All right. So okay. So we're about almost an hour and a half. Let's just get into it, right? Royal Rumble predictions. I think we'll just start with we'll get into the Royal Rumble matches themselves last, but we'll start with kind of like the quote unquote least important matches first.
do you want I've got them written down. Do you want me to?
Sure.
Okay, I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, so this is just we do this every year, or we did last year. I just write down some questions, and then we this is all based off of Chris used to do these with Anzo and Danny on his show, and we would just see who scores the most points. So we're gonna run this down real quick, and then we can talk about it afterwards. The men's Royal Rumble winner, who do you think's gonna win?
See, I was confident in my choice beforehand, but now I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if they will go with this person. I'm gonna let you guys go first because I really got to think about this.
Rounds.
So what's this called? The Miz Royal Rumble?
Men's.
Oh, men's. I thought you said Miz. I'm like, who's gonna win the men's Royal Rumble?
No, Miz. No, men's.
I could give you my final four, but like I think it's gonna come down to either CM Punk or John Cena.
Okay, that's actually another question. Who's the final four?
Oh,
Okay, so I need to know. I need to know the
but
winner.
I think it's gonna be CM Punk because I think he's gonna win it, and I think John Cena is gonna go on because they're promoting John Cena for the Elimination Chamber promotion. So I think Punk's gonna. He's never won the Royal Rumble, so I can see him being the one getting that Royal Rumble nod, especially since he's been a good guy or a good boy for a whole year for WWE. They're going to reward him with getting his Royal Rumble win and main eventing in WrestleMania.
Okay, I'm going to go way out there. I'm taking a huge leap on this, but everybody has joked about it. I'm just thinking, you got all 30 guys that came out there. All of a sudden, lights go out. What's going on? Number 31, The Rock. The Rock comes out, and it's him and Roman. And I think The Rock might win it. I don't know.
So, okay.
That'd be awesome.
Like, if you said this to me a few weeks ago, I would have said they're probably going to have John Cena win, right? Because it's almost like the obvious thing that they're going to try and do. Here's the problem. He has not been on WWE TV since that first Raw on Netflix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Secondly, he has not won a match in a while. So giving him a Rumble win here would be kind of stupid. Because then it would just be like, well, you win the Rumble, then what? Then it's like you can't really buy him going to WrestleMania and like getting that win, big, like that 17th win, because well, if he hasn't won a real convincing match here, so that doesn't really make any sense. So it's like I kind of have to rule Cena out here and especially if you're marketing him heavily for Elimination Chamber, what are you going to have him do? Like, Are you going to have him do a contract signing? Like, is he going to put his WrestleMania shot on the line? Like, that would be like okay, but even then, it's like, I don't know, like CM Punk would be, I think CM Punk would be a good pick, but the problem is like there's rumors that he might be facing Roman at Mania. Like that's a strong rumor.
Right.
So it's like, and Roman's not winning the Rumble more than likely. So it's like, that probably won't work.
But the thing is, I just go back to that Raw Netflix last week where they really promoted Punk and Cody Rhodes.
And see, this is where it comes back down to, like, this whole build to WrestleMania feels like a shit show because it almost feels like they don't know what direction they're going in because of one guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we don't know. We still don't know if The Rock's going to work WrestleMania. So it's like, I honestly, I think I might go with Shifty's answer here. Like, I might have to go The Rock here because there's no way we're doing all this clusterfuckery to turn around and go, The Rock's not working WrestleMania. Like, I just, like, a part of me doesn't want to believe it. Like there's no.
I agree because I do feel like he's lurking around somewhere, and it's just like, how many times we got to pivot to figure out what the hell The Rock wants to do.
It's like, because first they're like, okay, we're going to do Cena Gunther. And then it's like, oh, The Rock might not be working WrestleMania. So it'll probably be
Punk
Cena
and Roman.
Cody.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, if then it's like, all right, well, Punk's going to face Seth. And then it's like, oh, well, now he's going to face Roman. And then it's like, okay, well, then there was like talks of like doing this. And then it was that. And it's like, I don't understand what the conflict is here. Like, the answer should be simple. Are you working WrestleMania? Yes or no? And The Rock has just been so vague about it. And so absolutely, like, it's been such a clusterfuck. Like, on Raw, he said he's like acting like a baby face, and then on NXT, he's like cutting F-bombs and saying, the final boss is 20 steps ahead. It's like, I really don't understand what we're doing here. Like, are you working WrestleMania? Or are you not working WrestleMania? This is such a clusterfuck for no reason. Like, I don't get it. Like, figure it out. Like, personally, like, honestly, I want to go with 2 picks here because I feel like realistically, because I feel like The Rock is just kind of like a far-fetched answer to this point. So, again, I almost like want to go, okay, if they're going with Rock and Cody, The Rock. But if not, honestly, I think I could see Seth Rollins winning because realistically, somebody's got to have a world title match at WrestleMania. And if they are going to do Roman and Punk, like give Seth the Rumble win, have him face Gunther, and then have like Punk versus Seth at a later date.
But that would be such a downer, though. If it's not The Rock,
It
you
would
give
be a
Seth
downer.
instead of Punk. I mean, that makes no sense. I hate to call you out on that, but I just
No, I get what you're saying, Shifty, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that either. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to look at it from a like kind of like a like
Yeah.
realistically, if The Rock doesn't show up, who wins? Because it's like
Yeah.
Cena doesn't really make any sense now. You know,
Of
Punk
course.
probably wouldn't work because like who is he like unless he's facing Cody?
That's where it makes the most sense. It's like who are you gonna have win this? And I feel like if The Rock's not there, then it's gonna be Punk for the taking.
Yeah.
So
especially after Monday.
Yeah.
It's just this is just such a clusterfuck. Like it's
Well, you got to pick somebody.
Hold on, give me a second. Like, okay, like my sentimental pick is gonna be The Rock, but I think if I have to be realistic here, I think it might have to be CM Punk. Like I again, like there's multiple picks that could win here. I'm just being realistic, and I have to go with Punk for right now, just because I just don't. Because The Rock right now is just it's such a whirlwind of like we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So CM Punk is kind of going to be like the hard pick for me.
I just think after last year they're setting something up. They got to be because how do you outdo last year? And that would be the thing to do is number 31, The Rock. So. Yeah. So
31. If The Rock comes out at 31, he's definitely winning. Like there's
absolutely.
I mean, I want it to happen. Like I want to just come on the show and just be like, man, I've said this from the beginning. The Rock's gonna put himself over. He's gonna win the Rumble. Like again, I've been saying that for weeks. I've been saying that for a long time that this should happen. That I want it to happen, but a part of me is like, I probably should go with Punk realistically, but I really want The Rock. That's the thing. Like my heart pick is The Rock. Let him win. Go out at 31. But if I have to be realistic, it's gonna be Punk because, like, I know people want Cena to win the Rumble, but it's not gonna happen.
I want him to lose.
Yeah, because the thing is too, there's more money in Cena like chasing that like 17 than him winning the Rumble. I think.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like if they were really serious about Cena winning the Rumble, they should have had Cena, you know, throughout like the last couple weeks, just have him like do like quick like 5-minute matches, like
exactly, just really build him up. Yeah,
but they haven't done that. Like he showed up once, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna win the Rumble." No, he's not. Like I understand also the historical significance like of Cena winning the Rumble because then he'd be the only other guy besides Austin to win it 3 times. But again. Other than that, who does this benefit? Nobody. Because Cena, realistically, at this point, he doesn't really need another Rumble to really solidify himself.
And if they want to put the title on him, they can do it at Elimination Chamber. So,
yeah,
I think SummerSlam is the right place for it.
Yeah.
Like
okay, final. Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick, last thing on this. Cena needs to win. Like, it should have been like at least doing 5-minute matches, like building himself up, doing promos. Like he hasn't done that. So it's like again, I get contract schedule conflicts, but if you want to make it believable, like hey, like I need to win this, like they haven't really done that. So it's that's just me.
Okay, final 4. I say Rock, Reigns, Punk, and Cena.
Again, see, this is tough because like I'm trying to realistically like if I'm taking Rock out of the equation, I think the final 4 is going to be Punk, Cena, Roman, and the 4th one's tough because it's down to 2. It's either going to be Drew or Seth, but I think Seth's going to be part of the final 4.
Okay. All right, Rome's.
Like I'll give you my first 3. It's gonna be Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and John Cena. The 4th one, I think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre. He was gonna eliminate Seth Rollins with McIntyre thinking he's going to get his payback back at Punk after he lost in the Hell in a Cell match. I think that because Drew has been super hot. I feel like this is his year to really be a little more push, but also be in that finals 4 with those 4 men. And I do think, I think Roman's going to eliminate John Cena. Where I think Punk will eliminate Drew. Where it comes down to Roman and CM Punk.
Okay, so I'll just write you down for Roman and CM Punk for final 2. Austin.
I think CM Punk and John Cena are gonna be the final 2. I think they're gonna do something where they're gonna get the fans' hopes up and say, "Oh, Cena's gonna win," and then Punk's gonna somehow squeak it out. Like,
cool.
Okay, that'll be fun. I would like that too. I just think Roman's too big. I just feel like if anyone's gonna get Roman over the ropes, it'll probably be Punk after he eliminates Cena or something. They're gonna have to do something to really protect Roman.
Yeah.
Of course, I got Rock Reigns, but
or maybe it's Paul Heyman owing that favor to Cena where Roman gets distracted or something. I mean, they're playing with that too.
Okay, surprise entrant, not The Rock.
I could see somebody like a. So how many for surprise entrants here?
That would just pick one.
Pick one?
Yeah, just pick one. Just anybody, but it's not The Rock.
Okay. I mean, I know originally I was gonna go Malachi, Aleister Black, but
yeah, he's.
I don't know because that one's kind of a weird one because even though like apparently a rumors like he's out of his contract, but like there's probably that no compete clause, so I don't know if he's gonna be there. I might just say Joe Hendry here because like you want to capitalize, get that pop. He's the TNA World Champion. I'd say Joe Hendry's going to be a surprise entrant.
Okay, Rose.
I'm going to go with the hardcore legend Mick Foley. He lost a lot of weight. He looks like he's in good shape. Maybe there's a surprise appearance for Mick Foley to make a surprise entry into the Royal Rumble.
Oh, but can he take a bump going over the top?
That is the question.
Yeah,
but I would love to see him come back and then. I don't know. It's Mick Foley. That's one guy I feel like has really tested a lot of great wrestlers' toughness in the ring.
I didn't really think about this because I did this list really quick before the show. So and the person who I thought would show up, I actually saw something on X and they said no, this person isn't going to be in the Rumble. But they always say that to throw you off. I want to say Dolph Ziggler because they got the partnership with TNA, so I think cool. Ziggler might show up in the Royal Rumble. But they said on Twitter that he's not going to be in there. But who can you?
Another one I would just throw in there just for fun. It's Matt Cardona. I just think that he's been all over the place for the last couple of years.
Now that's a lot more believable than Mick Foley. Would you like to switch your answer?
No, I'm gonna switch with Mick. I'll stick with Mick Foley.
Okay.
It's bold, even though it may not happen. It'd be nice.
I was bold with The Rock too, so I mean, and that's going to cost me a lot if Rock doesn't show up. That's going to cost me a lot. Okay, will Rock be 31? I think we all know. We've already covered this. I say yes. Y'all say no.
Like I'm putting no and asterisk because I think it could happen, but I also don't want to get it wrong, so I'm gonna say no. But I'll put a question mark on there.
Rose?
No, I don't think he's coming.
Okay. Will there be a Kofi spot?
If you mean Kofi spot, meaning like he tries to like save himself and nobody wants to help him and they end up eliminating him, sure, but I don't think they're going to do that because with the heel character he's doing now, I don't think they're going to have him do a Kofi spot, so I'm going to say no.
No.
Okay. I'm a no.
All right. Okay, there's been talk of this since uh, Nia Jax did this a few years back or last year. Do you think Rhea Ripley will appear in the men's Rumble match?
No,
No,
nope.
No.
no. I'm going to say yes. I think Mommy's going to go. I think they'll do it to where she eliminates Dominic.
It
Uh,
could be possible, but I
yeah.
don't know if they're gonna do that though, because like I just want Rhea to be done with this Judgment Day stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like that story's over now that she won the title and kicked Dom in the nuts, and she's just moving on.
I mean, you got that, and then you got the intergender wrestling stuff coming back to 2K25. So I think they could probably, set something up. A women's Rumble winner. Who do you think's gonna win?
Can I have one? I have one question to ask you guys.
Yes,
Which men's superstar you think is gonna last the last the longest in the Royal Rumble? Mine's
Oh.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
I honestly I think Carmelo Hayes might get a good showing in the Rumble.
I don't know. Let me just go ahead and add as a question. Longest in Rumble. I'm going to say Seth Rollins.
Okay.
So it's, let's see, let me write this down. Austin said Carmelo. Talk amongst yourselves. Carmelo.
Like at least give Carmelo something, like at least like start making him look like a legitimate like guy there and not just, oh, I talk shit, that's my gimmick, and then I lose. Like,
Actually, I'm gonna change my pick for Mick instead of Mick Foley if that's cool. I'm gonna pick Trick Williams to make a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble. I really like Trick Williams. They should throw him in there for that men's Royal Rumble.
Okay, let's see. Foley. Trick.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see. Women's Rumble winner.
Charlotte probably.
Charlotte.
I'm gonna go with Io Sky. I really think Io Sky has done a phenomenal job. Since she's lost her title, she's really done a great job building herself back up, taking a lot of big bumps, doing some really crazy spots, and some of these matches she's been in. So, and she's been really good in the ring, and I feel like she's she should be the one that's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
I done forgot her name. TNA girl that they just signed.
Jordan Grace.
Yes, Jordan Grace. I think she's going to either win the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber. I think I would like to see her face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Austin. Sorry.
I just don't know if they're gonna bring in Jordan Grace this early and have her win the Rumble. Like,
well, yeah, but she's like a big thing. I think they already made her out to be a big thing last year, so I don't know. I think she's the one person you could get away with it. I mean, I think she's the only person you could ever get away with it like that. But I'm going all out there on the crazy picks this time. So
no, that's fine.
Final two.
I think it's gonna be Charlotte and
Becky.
I don't know. Oh, see
Nia?
this is the part that I don't know. I think it's gonna be Charlotte and Bianca. I think.
That's a good one.
Bianca. Okay.
For me, I think it's gonna be Io and Charlotte.
Io and Charlotte. And I'm going to go, of course, Grace and Charlotte. I was going to say something I don't forgot. There was something I was going to say and I don't forgot. Okay, will AJ Styles appear in the men's Royal Rumble?
Is AJ Styles going to be in the Rumble? As far as we know, he's not medically cleared, so I'd probably gonna say no.
I'm a no.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Will AJ Lee appear in the Royal Rumble?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Just
know
because
what?
I've heard Punk's comments lately, he got me believing she might surprise everybody.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes as well.
Cool. Does Cody retain the WWE title?
Shifty, may I ask you a question on that?
Are you fucking stupid?
Is the sky blue, Shifty?
It was gray here today.
But is it usually blue though?
Yes.
So I mean, come on, we already know the question. We all know the Woe Man is gonna cry his way to winning the match. We all know this. It's all right, everybody.
Who's going to the tag team match? Is it DIY or the Motor City Machine Guns?
DIY. I think they're gonna have a good title run with the tag team titles.
You know what? This might be my out there pick, but I think it's gonna be Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay. I think it's going to be.
So just to answer your question about Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, there's no turning back. Cody's a champion going towards WrestleMania. I mean, if he was going to lose a title, it would have been the first Saturday night main event with him chasing going into the Royal Rumble. They missed their opportunity with that.
Yeah. I got to say, I would think it would be the Motor City Machine Guns because there's a lot of people that only watches the pay-per-views and maybe they have only watched WWE, so they don't know who these guys are, and they're like a legendary tag team. So having them win could really solidify them in the WWE because I heard a lot of people weren't they didn't know who they were when they first came in a couple months back, and they didn't get as much fanfare. So I think putting them over DIY would give them just a little bit of a push there.
And it's going to be a good match too. So
yeah,
I expect it to be a good match. Yeah.
And will we find out what Punk's deal is with Heyman?
Depending on how it plays out in the Royal Rumble, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. I think that's how Roman Reigns. I think that's how Punk wins the Royal Rumble, thanks to Paul Heyman, who owes him a favor, and I think that favor is delivered at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one because if I wasn't picking Rock, I agree with you there, but because I picked Rock, I got to pick no. So yeah, and there was something I was going to ask. It popped up in my head, and that's a really good question. I should ask him, and I completely forgot. So maybe if I can figure it out, I'll send it. I'll post it on Twitter.
I have another one as well. For Women's Royal Rumble, who do you think is going to have a really great showing? I think it's going to be Jordynne Grace.
Yeah.
I also agree to that.
I will say this. Sorry, go ahead, Shifty.
I agree.
Yeah, but I do think we're going to see Jade Cargill return, and I think we're going to start seeing what happens.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. That's exactly what
Jade Cargill.
Who took out Cargill? That's the question. Okay, who will we find out who took out Cargill?
Yeah, I think we will. I think she'll show up, and that's going to start the WrestleMania between her and Bianca.
Okay, hold on. Who took out? Okay, is that who you think it is, Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, me Bianca? Too. I think it's Bianca. Yep.
Bianca. Man, I don't know. Man,
I want to see Bianca turn heel. I think it's about time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably Bianca. Yeah, but they were tag team champions at the time, weren't they?
Yeah.
But why would you attack your partner if you're the champion? Unless she thinks she's carrying her, but she really was. I don't know. I don't think.
I think that could be it because Jade was not that great as a, Bianca was technically carrying her, even though she should have been at NXT. Jade just to really, harness her skills.
Okay.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do think there'll be somewhere where like Bianca just got tired of carrying her, and she took her out and wanted Naomi because at least Naomi can hold her own.
Those two questions we added, we all agreed on, so they're really not gonna they're not gonna make much difference. But yeah, that's all I have here. But yeah, I'm probably gonna lose. just based on my pick of The Rock.
It's gonna.
Sorry.
I don't know. Like, if The Rock does come out like Shifty, you might actually win. So I mean,
if he shows up, he's winning the Royal Rumble. That's what I think.
Come on, Rock. Come on. You're the young rookie here. Come on.
Do you think we'll get a surprise celebrity in the Royal Rumble?
I kind of.
I don't think they will at least for the men because, like we said earlier, the Bloodline's taking up 1/3 of the Rumble. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe on the winner side.
Yeah, I feel like Roxanne Perez is gonna make her debut on the main roster on Raw. I mean, on at the Royal Rumble because she's no longer NXT champion. I think they're finally moving her up, which is about time.
Yeah, and they're setting something up with her and Bayley.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, gentlemen, this was a very long episode of Good Old Wrasslin. Nearly 2 hours. Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome. I love wrestling.
That's awesome.
I do too. That's awesome. I mean, shit. I don't think it's getting any longer than this. So but hey, listen. When you have great conversation every week, I don't care about how long it goes.
Yep.
So but I think we'll be back. I don't know. Like I don't know what I might do. I don't know if I'll do like just a separate Royal Rumble review. I don't know if I'll just cover it on the show Friday.
I'm free. When I don't know if you're free Saturday night after the Royal Rumble if you want to do a post Royal Rumble. If it's like late at night, maybe at 10 or 11.
Yeah. So. Actually, that could happen. I just have to see when it ends first.
Yeah.
Because if it ends like super late, I'm not doing it. But if it's like 9, 10 o'clock or whatever, then I'll be down to do it. So
it's definitely not going to be 9.
Yeah, no, it probably won't be 9, but
it'll probably go 4 hours, 10, maybe 10:30.
Yeah. I'd be down for it. So it just depends on how I feel after the show and if there's anything to talk about. But
if not, I'm free, this week, Monday, or I don't know about Sunday because I know that's Storm's Nation.
Yeah. And we'll probably also talk about it on Storm's Nation as well. So.
Oh, big time.
If we're not talking about the Buffalo and Kansas City stuff, we'll probably talk about Royal Rumble.
Oh, we're definitely talking Royal Rumble. I know for a fact he does not want to talk football.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think for a good old wrestling episode before we end it, because with WrestleMania coming up, we'll probably do some WrestleMania themed episodes.
Sweet.
So you need to plan that out because last year you almost had us watching all the WrestleManias, and I was just about getting ready to start. That didn't pan out, so it's a good thing I didn't watch.
Before we go, I was going to ask, what's your favorite Royal Rumble? Just your favorite Royal Rumble moment or Royal Rumble show?
Ooh, that's a good. Ooh, shit. I don't know. Because there's a lot of see, the thing is if we're going my favorite Royal Rumble match, there's a couple really good ones I've watched. Because the 1992 one I've seen a lot, and that was really cool. That was really fun.
Yeah.
The 2001 one was very it's like a basic answer at this point.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that one too. I would say that would be my obvious number one or favorite moment. But I always go back to the other one with Austin. I think it was WrestleMania, before WrestleMania 14. I think it was that Royal Rumble where Vince was making sure he does not win the Royal Rumble, and he had everybody stop wrestling, and like they're all waiting for Austin, and then he sneaks up from the back and just starts eliminating people. I think that was
cool.
Yeah, that one was one of my favorite ones.
I mean, the 2021 is actually I think the 2021, like people I know people like to call it like, oh, Edge returns, like that's the only thing. Like honestly, there was a lot of really
that was a great moment.
There was a lot of great storytelling in that Royal Rumble, like Brock Lesnar like dominating, and then like Drew eliminates him, and everyone gave like that huge pop, and then
Keith Lee,
like Edge coming back, and then Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah,
like
I wasn't expecting Drew McIntyre. That was amazing.
Like as soon as it got to that final two in 2020, I'm just going, oh god, Roman's winning, isn't he? And like you have that, you know how you have that dread in every Royal Rumble, because every time Roman's part of the final two, you go, oh god, Roman's gonna win, isn't he? Oh no, here we go. This is where the bullshit happens, guys. And then you're like, oh great, Roman's gonna do the spear, he's gonna throw him out, and then it's just like, yep, Roman wins, LOL. And then it's just like, great, all right, he's main eventing WrestleMania. Fuck it. All right, never mind. Show's over. But then Drew hit the Claymore. I'm like, wait a minute. No way. No, come on. Don't fucking don't tease me here, guys. Don't tease me. Don't give me this. And they do him over. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Drew won. Yes.
That was probably one of the first Royal Rumbles in a long time where I really enjoyed that it wasn't like the obvious Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton, Dave Batista. They finally went with somebody that you did not expect winning it, and it was such a great moment. I mean, that Royal Rumble is definitely a top 5, top 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, so many
just
surprises.
the edge too, just that moment. Like you can feel that moment because it's like here's a guy that thought would never come back and wrestle again, and he had that such an emotional. I have goosebumps thinking about it because it's like such a great moment.
Unfortunately, the pandemic happened and WrestleMania ended up being a good doll, and Edge had that terrible match with Orton backstage.
Oh god! Don't remind me of that.
Then Charlotte and Rhea had the orgasm match. That was so weird. But that was an awesome Royal Rumble. So many surprises. That's got to be right up there as one of my favorites.
Agreed.
And even though a lot of people don't like it, 1993, that was the first one that I watched.
Classic.
Yeah. Oh, is that the one where Randy Savage tried to pin Yokozuna to win the Royal Rumble?
Yep.
That was one of the first ones that I ordered. That I had to pay for. I had to save up for months with my allowance to get. So that was always special to me because that was one of my first pay-per-views. But my all-time favorite moment, Royal Rumble, which it wasn't even a Royal Rumble match moment, but the first time I saw anything in WWF, I was getting up. I slept late on a Saturday morning, and I went into my parents' room, turned on an old JCPenney television, turned it on, watched Saved by the Bell, then I turned it over to the UHF channel. Superstars was on. I didn't know I had never saw wrestling. Whoa, what is this? They were doing a recap of the 1991 WWF Championship match at the Royal Rumble. The first thing I saw was Randy Savage smack the Ultimate Warrior over the head with his scepter. And then Sergeant Slaughter got the 1, 2, 3 to win the title. And I was a huge G.I. Joe fan. And I didn't know that Sergeant Slaughter was a wrestler. I thought he was just a G.I. Joe guy. And I said, wait, what? He's a wrestler? He's a world champion now, and he's a supporter of Iraq. What the heck? And I was hooked. That moment forward, I was hooked. That was
God, that story of him being a supporter of the Iraqi war, all that other craziness. He got so much heat for that.
And 1991, I'm telling you, I might be biased because that's the year I got into wrestling. They had some of the best all-time storylines and bits that year. You had Damien getting squashed and Earthquake making burgers out of him. You had Ultimate Warrior getting trapped in the casket and he couldn't get out. And he had Jake Snake. He was going to train him to beat Undertaker, and he locks him in a room with snakes. Yeah, the ultimate Randy Savage getting bit by the cobra. Oh my God, that might be.
I was thinking of that. I'm like, oh my God, because they made a story of the whole thing, which is oh man.
That might be the best produced bit they've ever did. Was that cobra bite? That was.
I agree. Yeah,
that was amazing.
You guys forgot the best feud of that year. Of course,
What?
I'm talking about the Ultimate Warrior versus Vince McMahon.
Well, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Wasn't that the year? Sorry.
Yeah, that was the year. Yeah, he got fired right after SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to break
more money.
Hogan was like, Sheiky, we'll throw him out in the ring and you break his leg. And this is Vince like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He said, well, I'll just fire him. I'll give him a letter. And then the next year, Ultimate Warrior got fired again, and that messed up a lot of things. He started tag team with the Macho Man. They were going to do Survivor Series, but then Warrior got fired, so they had to replace him with Mr. Perfect. And I was like, I swear to God, they didn't have one televised match with that tag team with Macho Man and Warrior. And everybody always like, oh, the Ultimate Maniacs was such a great. They never wrestled on TV. They had video. They had matches that they recorded for videos, but releases. But they never wrestled on TV, so they were short-lived, in and out, gone. Ultimate Warrior was such a huge fuck up.
Same with I think Bret Hart and Randy Macho Man. I think they had a house show match or something. You could find it somewhere on a video, but they never had an official feud or match together.
Yeah, they were going to, but
I think same with Andre the Giant too, if I remember.
We could talk all day, but Bret. Yeah. Bret
Shifty. Sorry, change subject. Back to the Ultimate Warrior. Do you believe in that conspiracy theory that the original Ultimate Warrior died and that someone else replaced him?
No. We know he didn't. That was rumor. I don't even know how that rumor spread because there was no internet at the time, and I heard that. That the day after WrestleMania, WrestleMania 8, I heard people was like, "That's not the same Warrior. The original Warrior died." I'm like, "Where did you hear that?" I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, because he was walking around. He was, I think, a bit out of shape, and he was wearing a T-shirt with a six-pack on it or something. I just remember that's where the story.
Well, no, he was
right?
He had a different hair color, and he wasn't as big. He wasn't wearing a T-shirt, but that summer he did start wearing this singlet where there was muscles painted on, which is weird because from April to August, he could have got his weight back up. So I don't know why he started wearing that muscle outfit, but
it's a strange time for the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
Sorry for hijacking the show.
Yeah, no worries. Just when I think of the Ultimate Warrior, I think of like if I have to have a wrestler that defined the early 90s, it would probably be Ultimate Warrior because he was so big. Like he was bigger at one point than Hulk Hogan.
He just couldn't work with people. He was
that might be a good topic for good old wrestling. Just talk about how much of a fuck up the Ultimate Warrior was.
Oh, there's a lot
of fuck ups.
Watch the video, the DVD that's out there of the slander or the smear campaign.
And all of it was basically true. That's what makes it sickening that they brought the only reason they brought his wife in is because he died. But every year when she gets up there, well, I don't think she's done it the last couple of years. I think they kind of stepped back from that. But when she goes on and on about how great her husband was, he might have been a great one to her, but to other people in the wrestling business, he was a dick.
Well, he was a real asshole. I mean, he had to do a whole video to apologize to some kid. Little did he know that kid's father was a big-time network guy or something. There's so much stories about the Ultimate Warrior.
He wrote a blog post about it was after that video came out of the destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
And he started talking about Bobby Heenan, and he started talking about his cancer and how he deserved to get cancer and all this. He was a piece of shit. Ultimate Warrior he was terrible. He was awful.
That's why I was shocked he was doing like college cinema, just those college things back in the early 2000s.
That clip went around forever. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can look at it. It's still on there. Yeah. But another thing is, if it wasn't for him, the British Bulldog might have lived longer because Davey fell. He got a backdrop on that trap door in WCW that they made for the Ultimate Warrior, and if Ultimate Warrior hadn't came to WCW and did that, that trap door wouldn't have been there, and Davey wouldn't have got hooked on the painkillers like he did, and
Right.
things could be different. Sorry, Austin.
Sorry,
No,
Austin.
it's fine. It's fine. Fuck the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, we should definitely do a stream about the Ultimate Warrior and just the fuck up things he's done.
Most hated wrestlers.
You know what's really funny, and this is the last thing I'll say before we end the stream. It's like, you guys talk about how like they're pretty much on the money with the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD. I love how WWE a few years later made like another Ultimate Warrior DVD trying to praise the guy when they're right the first time in burying him.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I understand revisionist history. I understand you want to bring him back for the video.
Sorry, pal.
I mean,
we messed up.
I'm still shocked that he came back before he passed away.
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years that guy would come back to WWE and people tell him he's forgiving and all that other stuff, and it was just weird for me to see, just because of like all the stuff that he said, all the stuff that was done to him, all the stuff he did to the wrestlers, WWE, just I don't know, it's just crazy how that whole thing ended.
Like, I know there's the phrase of don't speak ill of the dead, and I'm not saying Ultimate Warrior didn't leave an impact on the business, because he did. At the same time, he was a piece of shit. Like, we can all say that now and just say he's a piece of shit. Let's call it for what it is. Let's call a spade. The guy was an asshole.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, what kind of guy yells at an 8-year-old who just wants a picture and get an autograph?
Makes sense.
Going full circle about Ultimate Warrior, back to the DC figures we were talking about last week or the week before. I happened to be in Best Buy last week, and I just happened to. I didn't even know that they had a flash sale that day, and I got that Ultimate Collector's Edition of the Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Sweet.
Where he's got the Bruce Wayne head. The Bruce Wayne head, since he's like older and got gray hair and stuff, he actually looks like the Ultimate Warrior in that last appearance. So that's yeah. Sorry, Austin.
No, it's fine. How fitting that the episode started with us talking and shitting on Ryback, and now it ends with us 2 hours later shitting on the Ultimate Warrior.
I mean, Triple H, just to circle back to Triple H, he said that one of the worst matches he's ever had was against the Ultimate Warrior in his first WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes long. He just ran, dropped them, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Oh my god! There's a clip of him fighting. Oh no, that was somebody else. That was Goldberg. Oh, excuse me, that was another bad wrestler. Okay, never mind. I was thinking about wrestlers. Never mind. But Ultimate Warrior did have a match where he was wrestling somebody in the Heenan family, and then Bobby Heenan came in and he picked Heenan up and he just dropped him straight on his face, and I think he got his neck messed up because of it. He was bad. Sorry, Austin.
Fuck the Warrior. That's the last thing that I will say. We're over 2 hours in. I'm going to let everybody go around the panel, tell everybody where they can find themselves at. Shifty, we'll start with you. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on X. That's Shifty Gism. That's Shifty GISM. I talk about action figures a lot. I talk about movies and TV. And today I talked about how much potato wedges you can get from the Walmart deli for only $2. Also, sometimes I haven't been doing them here lately, but sometimes on the weekend I do streams, PSN. So just check out my YouTube channel. That's it.
Very cool. Very cool. Rome's, where can they find you at?
They can find me at the Cool Kids review, and I won't be on there tomorrow because of Royal Rumble, but they're going to be doing their companion review tomorrow. You can also find me on my channel, Roams, which I talk about movies, movies, TV shows, comic books, or just a variety of different things on there. And you can find me on Storm Nation every Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Very cool. Very cool. You can find me on my channel now every Fridays for good old Wrasslin. I know, guys, it's crazy. I'm filing consistency. Holy crap. You can also find me on the Hangout on Wednesdays, the Cool Kids movie reviews. You can find me on Storms Nation on Sundays. I'm everywhere. I'm just a little bit of everywhere. Go check me out when you can. And we will be back potentially tomorrow, talk about the Royal Rumble. So we'll see you then. So thank you guys for watching. This is the Ostinator signing out.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.
That's awesome.